Well, hello, online friends, followers, and subscribers. I am finally back again at my boxes. Box number 6 this time. Because, well, these boxes aren't going to sort themselves. So I do find it helps me videoing them because it also helps me when I go back to them to remember what's in them. So I'm on box number 6 out of 22 and I haven't even started the bags yet. So if you're ready, let's get started and see what box number 6 holds. So this looks like unbleached calico. It is a woven. Just as you move all my boxes and bring them closer so that I can sort them accordingly. This is upholstery. I'm going to put this in the bags box, the box for making bags. No, that's the wrong one. That one there. I'll soon get the hang of it. This is mini mat. This is a woven. This little string, I'm going to put that in the bags box because it's a little piece, but it can be used to embellish a bag. This, oh, I have more of this. This is also for bags. I know it's, what's the word? Insulated, quilted, but I have more of that. This is yellow cotton in a strip. I'm going to put it in the bag box. This is fleece. Put it with the fluffy. This is dress lining. It's a woven. This is either upholstery or curtaining. I don't know if you can see the detail on that. Again, I'll put that in the bag box because that will make a nice detail on a bag. I'm going to have so much stuff for making bags here. Haha. This is like either upholstery or curtaining, but again, it's from a book. There's somebody's at least taken the glue off it, but you can see with the punch marks in the back of it that it has come from a sample that has found its way into my pile. Now what is this? That's satin, that's woven. This almost feels like dry mac. Is it dry mac? Either way, it's woven. It's polyester. What have we got here? This is a piece of toweling. I'm going to put that with stuffing and batting and so on. This is woven. Hopefully I'll be able to learn this time round when I work on this video how to zim-zam over the knit versus woven portion of this and be able to speed this up. But time will tell. It's woven. Just got to keep remembering that I'm putting them in the right, or checking that I'm putting them in the right bags. Those are wovens. Woven. Woven. No. Yes, it is a woven. 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 Purple. That I think was from, hang on, that's still got the self edge on it. That's a different from the other thing I was thinking about. This is rib trim, I think. No, it's not, but it is a knit. So I'll chuck that in the knit pile. It's got a bit more stretch than a woven. How pretty is this? Just the right side. I think that looks like the right side. I'm going to put that in the bag pile because it is pretty. I suppose at some point I should make some bags so that you can see what I actually make with these bits and pieces. This is a piece of, I was going to say sheeting, but it's round at the bottom. So this was probably a round tablecloth that the bottom just got cut off of. So that is a woven. So I'm going to ask my helper if she could iron my wovens so that I can do stuff with it. This is feels like a Woolies bag, but it's woven. Well, it might be a non-woven, you know. Some people do that with that. Okay, that's knit, like that other brown I had. Maroon, but this is cotton. It's woven. Satin, woven. This luminous, it's polyester, but it's woven. Woven. So you can understand why I like pieces like that, because you can pick up any of the colors to make an interesting detail on a bag. Lovely. Been watching a guy on YouTube, Gabriel Iglesias. He's a big boy, or as he calls himself, he's fluffy, or maybe a bit beyond fluffy. So now that I'm saying fluffy, makes me think of him. Fairly clean humor. If you enjoyed Jeff Dunham, you'll enjoy him. So Gabriel Iglesias. I think his website is fluffyguy.com. But yeah, not enough laughter in the world, so you've got to do what you've got to do to get some giggles. Interesting, these are both sort of leopard print, but two different colours. I'll put that in the bag box because that's interesting. Now I have to stop my boxes from migrating their contents from one to the other when I'm not looking. That is a woven. That is fluffy. Chuck that in the fluffy pile. Purple. Oh, no. This is scuba. Not to be confused with neoprene, although your first touch of it might make you think that. But when you compare it to neoprene, you would actually notice the actual difference. It's in it. It's crimpolene by any other name. Hope I don't get sued for saying that. This is brushed sheeting. It's a woven. That's a woven. I'm going to bring this bag of pieces closer, because if there are itty bitty little bits that will only work for stuffing, I will put that in there. I can still use that piece. I can use that in a bag. Although the little bitty pieces, I don't quite have that much patience. That is a shoelace. It's amazing what you find when you start going through this. That's woven. 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 Ooh. Oh yes, this is a woven, but it feels like suede. So I'm going to take, oh, this is falling on the floor. Take the suede pieces that I can find fairly easily. I'm going to put them in the bag pile. And get off these threads. Try and get off these threads. There we go. Put it in the bag pile, because those would work really well for that. Oh, that is a piece. It's satin. But check the little bit of gold flick in that. Put that in the bag pile for sure. I really need to make some bags. They're pretty. So for bags, you would think that I would only need like curtaining or upholstery weight fabric, but it's not true. Because lighter fabrics like satin, I will quite happily make a drawstring bag. I mean, I've got this fabric here from a previous box. It is in one of my woven boxes. And it's a very light polyester. Now, I wouldn't make a shopping bag with it, but I would quite happily make a drawstring bag, or 2 or 3 out of that, because I've got enough. And until you have drawstring bags, you don't realize just how useful they are. It's got paw prints. Chuck that in the bag pile, even though those are wovens. Oh. So yeah, I usually use wovens for the bags. Knits, I will still find the right thing to do with knits. Really, I throw it down and then it flutters away like a whirligig into the other one. Oh, that's pretty. Not sure what it's supposed to, what it's meant to be, if anything. Was it a car? Could have been a car. Let me know in the comments below if you can figure out what this was supposed to be. Anyway, it's going to go in the bag pile because that's interesting. As I said, some pieces like this, yes, I could incorporate that in a bag. Quite frankly, I think I'm just going to put that in the stuffing pile. Okay. Woven. Purple satin. I may have mentioned my love of purple. I mean, really? Perhaps? Just maybe? I mean, If you didn't get that memo, where were you? I mean, I got married in purple, so, well, lilac technically. This is almost it's a crushed velvet. Is it stretchy? A little bit. It's actually a knit. But I am going to put that in the bag pile because that is gorgeous. This is woven. In fact, if you've watched anything quilting related, you can see that probably looks like 1-inch square quilting. There's no ways I would have the patience to sew something like that. In fact, I'm going to put that in the bag pile. I'll make a blue bag. And you might say, Michelle, what on earth are you going to do with this strip of selvedge? And yes, this I can crochet into a mat. Do that a pile here. It's there. Because if it's already cut like that, then I don't need to cut it. That's woven. That is paper, post-it note actually. Okay. Now, for all I've just said, I could crochet with a strip like this. I have tried crocheting with satin and it did not work out well. So I'll just put that in the woven pile. This is also a selvedge. I'm going to put this in the bag pile because it is an upholstery weight. Some things you just can't tell by looking at it. You've actually got to feel it. Very lightweight, almost a viscose cotton. Just put that in the wovens. In case you were wondering, I'm on my 3rd box of wovens and 1 box for bags and 1 box for knits. So, okay, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this. It's polyester. It's fairly stiff. Almost reminds me of dry mac, but it's actually too light for that. Could probably use that as structure for a bag. We'll put that in the bag pile. This looks like a very small shoelace, or maybe a scarf for a Paddington bear. It's possible. I'm going to keep that one side because that looks like it actually comes from something, but I have no clue. I have a piece of mock leather. Let's see if get some decent light on that. You can see what the thing is. Okay, my cat's just come through the curtain and she's wondering what's going on. I'm going to put that in the bag pile. This, that's interesting. There's a piece of cotton, but it's been sewn to, and this is polystyrene insulation. Literally. So the soft polystyrene that you might get your stuff from Take-A-Lot or Amazon wrapped in that. So I'm going to put that in the stuffing pile. I'm just going to pop that there. It's another piece of scuba, like the other purple. This is pretty. I'm going to put that in the bag box. And some more of that. Can you see that? It would help if I would show you properly. Hey, all that velvet kind of fabric. Not the same as the other one. The other one was a lot more crushed than this, but very pretty. What is this? This has been a cutout of a heart, or an attempted cutout of a heart. Put those in the bag box because that's interesting. Which is the right side? Which is the oh, I've been looking at the wrong side. Looks like it was an upholstery fabric with that silver detail of a flower in there. Interesting. This is that rib trim? Feels like rib trim. Not quite. But it is a knit, so we'll chuck that in the knit pile. Woven. Woven. I'm just going to pop you in there. Woven. In fact, there's quite a bit of this blue. Woven. 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 That's more unbleached calico. I'm going to put that in the bag pile. So I've got to keep an eye on the time on this 14 minutes so far. Okay, this very plastic. Sure you can hear that. I'll put that in the bag pile because it's got the strength to handle that. This is a knit, but what does it say? It is pow. It's like a fleece. I'm going to put that in the bag pile. Excuse me a sec, I'm going to sneeze. You're welcome. I spared that going through your headphones. Oh, this neon. I think I must put the neon with the bags. I'm sure I had some other neon here earlier. Bright yellow. Because I might not wear neon, but a neon bag, that'll work for me. Makes it very easy to find. And especially when you start traveling again, you end up going through the airport. You've got something that nobody else has got. Just makes it so much easier to find your own luggage. This, I wonder what they were going to do with this. Oh, hang on. I know there was a blouse in one of the other things, which was a massive size, way beyond my size. I mean, I'm not exactly petite by any stretch of the imagination, but they were probably going to put a frill on that. I will probably ungather that and then use that strip in a bag or something. What else would I use it for? Oopsie daisy. I just keep having to pick up these pieces. They keep falling to the floor. And they are itty bitty pieces. I am just going to chuck that in the stuffing pile. And yet that one, piece of zebra, I will put in the bag pile, in the bag box. I can see I'm going to have a lot of these pieces to go into stuffing again. So I think, let me carry on sorting. This was obviously the bottom of either a doll's dress or a sleeve. I'll use that for stuffing. I really must start making some more bags in order to use up all this stuffing, because the stuffing is kind of getting away from me. This is fluffy. Chuck it in the fluffy pile. This feels, yeah, this has still got the paper on from a book. You can see the punch mark in there. If you have any fabulous way for getting this paper off, let me know in the comments below, because I believe it's quite a skill to get that right. I do love, I've actually made a bag that has this in, and it really gives such a pop of color, so I will put that in the bag pile. This is 2 by 1 inch, but I'm sure it matches some of that other fabric I've got. This is batting, and I think I am going to put this on pause or on hold, and then come back with anything interesting I find. I will spare you all the dregs that I can see in this pile, and if there's anything interesting, I'll come back and give you an update on that. Well, I'm back finally. Goodness, trying to get this video clip uploaded from my phone onto my PC was rather a challenge, because I was trying to put it onto my Dropbox, and then my Dropbox is full. So instead I moved it to Mega. And to download it from Mega, I was able to download it back to Mega. It took me most of yesterday to try and sort that out. You'd think it would be easy or user-friendly, but anyway, I finally got that downloaded. Meanwhile, I sorted out the rest of the scraps, and I just wanted to show you some of the interesting items I found in box 6. So I've got some woven fabric here with almost a watery design on it, which will go nicely for bags. Got a good couple of these pieces of the satin with the gold. Let's get that in the right light. I would hope if that would focus nicely. There we go. There was a fair amount of upholstery in various shades of green, so I do think there is a green bag in my near future. A couple of pieces of this almost watermelon colored fabric. There were some lovely items that will go very nicely in bags. Even funny strips like this make a very interesting decorative element to a bag. I mean, this is not a terribly big piece, but for decorative elements, you don't need a terribly big piece. That's the right side. This is almost like a batik. I got a nice piece here. This almost looks like a watercolor. Oops, my arm wasn't in the way. I even found some lame. Check this out. Does that not scream 1980s solid gold? Or am I showing my age? And some silver. What else did I have? That's more batik of that. Some more. I'm sure I've had some of this in one of the earlier ones. It's got some sparkles on it, which is quite cool. And even this piece of red, which looks like it's just crinkly, but actually on the correct side, you can see there's actually a rose motif in there as well. So again, some lovely items for making bags. There was a fair amount of different types of leopard print. So and then, oh yes, there was a whole bunch of strips of fabric. And I've just decided that crocheting them is a much more space effective use for those scraps, because quite frankly they're not really usable in that kind of size otherwise. So I'm probably going to make a bunch of these and then put them together into like a cushion cover to make like a pet bed or something, especially as some of this has been so thin. This is mini mat, and some of this is like 1/2 centimeter and is already sort of tearing. This pink piece is actually chiffon. I was quite surprised at how well that crocheted. It was interesting because the chiffon was like 2 inches wide. The mini mat was like literally 1/2 centimeter. And yes, I know I'm mixing my currencies here basically. But hey, if it works, it works, and it keeps it out of landfill. So that's always been my main aim. So I shall see you again when I'm now going to try and download this again, wish me luck. There was a lot of it that went into the scrap pile that I will use for stuffing for cushions. But otherwise, I will see you on the next one when I finally get to box 7. Have a super day. Cheerio.